chips in DACs, of course, Delta Sigma and not R2R DACs, are sort of like tubes in amps in that, to a large extent, they define their sound signature. While there are many DAC chip manufacturers, two seem to be dominating at least the mainstream market. They are ESS Technologies from United States and AKM or Asahi Kasei Micro Devices from Japan. There's also Asahi beer, but it's got nothing to do with those DAC chips. Choosing between an ESS or AKM chip-based DAC and choosing between an APA or IPA beer are both Buridan's ass dilemmas. Luckily, I now have a solution, at least to the first one. Jean Buridan was a 14th century French philosopher. Buridan's ass does not refer to his butt, however. In Old English, an ass meant a donkey. So when Buridan's ass was presented with two equally tasty stacks of hay, it couldn't decide which one to eat and died of hunger. That's why we refer to Buridan's ass when we're stuck between two equally good choices. Where was I? Yeah, DAC chips. ESS Sabre DAC chips are notorious for their precise, clinical, detailed, and sometimes cold sound signature. AKM DAC chips, on the other hand, are typically warmer sounding, more natural, or more musical, if you will. Deciding which one to pick can be a difficult situation, especially when you're starting your audiophile journey and you're not sure which one will synergize best with the rest of your system. Do you already have your favorite DAC chip or DAC type? Which one is it? Let me know in the comments below. I personally prefer AKM. And here comes Ampapa Q1, a two-chip DAC that lets you have your cake and eat it too, or something like that. This device has two DAC chips inside, ESS Sabre 9093 Q2M and AK4493 from AKM. Almost the best of both worlds. What's even cooler, you can switch between them on the fly, which means you can perform your own A/B tests without any additional infrastructure.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back.
It also has 4 sets of outputs, so you can connect 4 different amps and speakers or powered speakers. This way, you can always argue to your wife that you need all those amps and speakers cluttering your living room because you're actively listening to all of them. To be totally honest, a DAC with 2 different chips inside is not a new idea. A year and a half ago, I reviewed a very similar unit from Douk Audio called DAC Q11. And the likeness is not a coincidence. Ampapa is a premium brand of Douk Audio like Lexus and Toyota, and the Q1 is an evolution of Q11. And at $270, it's almost twice as expensive. But is it? But it's not because it's just more premium. It is actually a much more sophisticated unit. It has a newer ESS DAC 9039 instead of 9038. It has balanced TRS outputs, and it's not just for convenience. The signal they convey is balanced. Double the voltage, higher signal to noise ratio, common mode noise rejection, so your amp receives a truly balanced signal. Output signal is switched by real relays, which is a premium way to do it since relays don't distort the signal. There are 5 relays in total, probably 2 for left and right channel, 1 for muting, and 2 for high-low gain switching or headphone line output isolation. It also has 4 switchable op-amps, easily accessible through removable glass roof and mounted on 8-pin sockets. The stock op-amps are LME 49720, which already are very good 2-channel operational amplifiers. They have the reputation of being clean, neutral, and well controlled. But if you are into tweaking your gear, you can swap them with, for example, a newer model, OPA 2891, which has even better parameters. I've just ordered a pair of them on AliExpress for around 15 US dollars, including shipping. When they arrive, I will compare the sound of the two and will let you know. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss new videos. And while we're at it, if you find this video useful so far, give it a like and help the YouTube algorithm reach more folks in need of great sounding, affordable audio gear. That's what I'm preaching here. Unlike Douk Audio Q11, Ampapa Q1 has Bluetooth, that's 5.2 chip supporting aptX HD, LDAC, AAC, and SBC codecs. It also has a better XMOS chip responsible for signal transmission via USB. It's USB-C in this case, at a high resolution of up to 768 kilohertz in 32 bits of resolution for PCM and DSD 512. And if all this is not enough, the Q1 has a built-in headphone amplifier as well. It's op-amp based, so it's not a high-end one, but with the maximum output of 1000 milliwatts into 32 ohms, it can easily drive 90% of headphones. Even planar magnetic ones like Hi-Fi Sandaras, which have nominal impedance of 37 ohms. It did struggle, however, with my other planars, Virum 2s, because their impedance drops to 8 ohms. So you can, of course, listen to them, but it won't be the most refined sound. This entire careful design and quality components of the Q1 translate into great parameters. Total harmonic distortion is at 0.0002 92%. Signal to noise ratio is above 121 dB, which is beyond the audible level for humans. It means that the DAC itself reproduces music very accurately and doesn't add any noise to the sound. This in turn results in a more holographic soundstage, more air around instruments, and more audible tonal decay. It applies to both DACs and helps the unit emphasize the differences between the ESS and AKM chips. They are, in my subjective opinion, much more audible than in the Douk Audio DAC Q11. What's also worth mentioning is Q1's look, which is slightly wacky for the lack of a better word. What I mean is that it glows almost like a disco ball thanks to the internal LED lighting that lets you marvel at the beauty of the internals. And you can switch to whatever color you want. But it also shines through the cutout Ampapa logos on both sides, which reminds me a bit of those Macintosh radiators. So, does it actually solve our Buridan's as dilemma? Well, kind of. The sonic delta between ESS and AKM chips is definitely more audible here than it was in the Douk Audio DAC Q11. That lower noise floor gives each chip plenty of room to breathe and express its unique character. But to be totally honest, it's not a night and day difference. And if your amp and speakers and cables, of course, aren't resolving enough, you probably won't hear any difference at all. What the Q1 is really great at is letting you run your own A/B experiments without having to buy two separate DACs. If you're just starting your audiophile journey and you're not quite sure which sound signature suits your ears or your system, this is probably the smartest first DAC you can buy. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. This will give YouTube a strong signal that I'm able to help more folks struggling with their life choices. Otherwise, I'm Greg, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, happy listening.